Thousands today gathering at the state capitol for the No Kings rally. Livecopter 3 was over the scene. You can see just how many people were there today. This is in response to President Donald Trump's military parade in Washington, D.C. So far, all of these protests we have seen have been peaceful. Along with the gathering at the state capitol, protesters also took to the streets of downtown Sacramento. You know what that is. This was on the Tower Bridge. Protesters ending up on the bridge as well. Along with Sacramento, we also saw demonstrations across the region in Roseville, Folsom, and Elk Grove. We also saw these protests all across our state of California. This is a look at the ones we saw in Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Jose, San Diego, Long Beach, and in Santa Monica. Well, these protests are protesting Donald Trump's policies, President Donald Trump's policies. They're happening across the country right now. These are the ones we saw in Atlanta, Miami, Greenville, South Carolina, Philadelphia, Indianapolis, and Oklahoma City. We also saw protests in Chicago, Boston, Denver, and in Detroit. This is really happening across the country. Well, hey, back here in our region, you saw what happened here in downtown Sacramento. Well, in Auburn, a protest just wrapped up about a half hour ago. We want to head over to KCRA3's Peyton Headley, who joins us live with what we saw there. We've seen these all across the region. Peyton, what did you see out there in Auburn?
Yeah, well, at its peak, this was hundreds and hundreds of people here in Auburn outside of the Placer County Courthouse. A lot of people actually lined the steps to the courthouse holding signs and chanting some of the messages they have today. You can see only a few people remain. It looks like maybe less than half a dozen as this protest wrapped. In the last 45 minutes or so, we spoke to some of the people who said they're out here because they wanted to make their voices heard. A lot of them said a big reason for coming out has been the recent immigration raids. I actually talked to a group of young women who said that they came out here on behalf of some of the people in the immigrant community who have fear to participate in things like this, but they wanted to make sure that their voices were heard as well. So we did see a lot of cars. This is a pretty busy intersection, driving through and honking in support of this protest today. But some protesters told us they did see some counter protesters driving by with Trump flags as well. But they said throughout all of it, it remained peaceful. So some good news there. Live in Auburn, Peyton Headley, KCRA 3 News.
Peyton, we'll see you later tonight. Thank you. We continue our coverage right now. KCRA3's Aaron Heft brings us into the crowds that covered the California state capitol.
Countless faces among the growing crowd raising their voices, bringing their messages to the west steps of the California state capitol.
My hope is that we have to show that the majority of Americans oppose what Trump is doing and support due process and the rule of law.
This one of approximately 2,000 rallies across the United States protesting the Trump administration, countering the president's military parade and current policies, and he said they disagree with.
Mostly we're fighting immigration policies. We're letting America know we will not stand by this. This is unacceptable behavior from the president of the United States, someone that should be representing everyone in America, and he just doesn't, and he chooses to be unkind.
He's breaking the laws, he's defying the Constitution, so it's important. I mean, my husband is a veteran, my kids are also serving in the military, and him deploying the troops over the weekend was really outrageous as far as I'm concerned.
This among other large groupings framed under the slogan, No Kings.
No Kings! No Kings! No Kings!
I just want to protest the recent actions, especially with ICE and Los Angeles and the National Guard. And I just, I don't think it's right.
It's just degrading people, degrading the nation, and I don't agree with any of his policies.
We're paying attention and we care about what's happening in this country, and we're not gonna just lay down and take it,
The large group breaking out into chants, echoing their plight for change to what they're seeing unfold across the nation. At the California State Capitol, Aaron Heft, KCRA 3 News.
More than 1,000 people showed up for the No Kings event in Roseville Saturday. Protesters lined both sides of the Galleria Boulevard near Roseville Parkway. Livecopter 3 flew over the scene of the loud but peaceful gathering. You can see it in this video right there.
I find people to be polite, respectful, inclusive, and the overall vibe is just, we're in it together.
As soon as I walked out of the parking lot, I saw a veteran in a wheelchair, and he said, "This is what democracy looks like." And I immediately got a lump in my throat. I thought, oh my God, this is so inspiring.
Now, protesters waved American flags and carried signs protesting the Trump administration, the ICE raids happening nationwide, and the military parade being held in Washington, D.C. We'll have more on that parade coming up later in our newscast. Live Copter 3 also over the protest in Folsom today. We saw people holding signs and marching along East Bidwell Street. There was also a No King sign displayed on the overpass over Highway 50.